Welcome back to the channel. My name is CJam, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you my top 10 favorite fonts on Envato. So here we are on Envato's website, and my pick number one for my favorite fonts is Aloe Vera Sans. Now, I love how simple this is. I love how to the point this is. There's not too much going on, and if you scroll across here on the previews, you can see all the different weight that you have. I like that I can just use this in replacement of something simple or generic on Windows like Times New Roman or Arial, right? I can just substitute it for Aloe Vera Sans, and then that's why I really like it. And here you have all the weights. You have normal, italics, outline. The outline is a huge bonus for me, and this is why it is one of my favorite fonts. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next font. But before we do that, this video obviously is sponsored by Envato, and if you like what you see here when we're done, to get these fonts, all you have to do is subscribe, and you get not only these 10 fonts that I'm going to show you, but you get unlimited downloads, and that's what makes Envato special for me, and I know it will for you as well. So that's our first font. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. We have Groveric. Now, similar to the Aloe Vera before, I like that this is simple and straightforward, and I can swap it out from one of my computer's default fonts, right? And it will give me something a little bit more modern and unique compared to what we're all used to, right? So this is one of my go-tos, my second go-tos here on my list. Now let me move on, and this one, as you can see, Restoria, this is a little bit more fancy. It's a little bit more nuanced, right? It's not your everyday simple plain Jane font. You see the edges right here, they have a little bit of character to them. They're sharp, they're say, hey, I'm here, right? And I really like how it stands out. You can see, as I mentioned, look at the W. It's not just your plain like, two V's that make a W. It has character, and that's why I like it, right? Now let's go. I really like this little preview here that says, like, it's really nice, right? Let me go on to the next one. Number 4. Are we at 4 already? Jacques. How do you pronounce this? I believe it's Jacques, right? Jacques. All right, now, similar to the previous ones that I looked at, it's standard and to the point, and I really like how clean the curves are. You see this here on the R, it's almost like just like a perfect swoosh around, especially for the A and the end, and I really like that. Look at the Y. So elegant, right? I really like that. And with this one, you get a lot of weights, as you can see here. It starts at thin, extra light, regular, and this is something huge for me. Like all these different weights, I really like my options in my fonts. What about you guys? Do you guys prefer like thin, light fonts, regular, or are you somebody like me who likes like bold and black weight fonts that are really heavy, right? Cinema Sunday. Now this is where it starts to get a little bit fancy, and I really like this. This can make for a cool title, unlike a social media graphics where this will be your main title, this word right here, and then you have some plain fonts like standard type fonts like the ones that we looked at earlier, your Grover, your Aloe Veras, underneath with your paragraph and all of your text info like on a website. This could be your header text and then something more standard for your body, right? Look at all these cool options right here. So you get the standard, right? But then if you come over here to the alternate ligatures, let me zoom in for you. You can see you get the fanciness here with the U plays into the R into the what. Like, come on, this is like top tier. Let me zoom back out for you, right? And as I said, this will pair nice with something more standard. So this is the header and another standard, more generic text like the ones that we looked at earlier for your body, right? Now let me move on to the next one. I just love that you can get the letters to flow into one another. It's so clean. I think this might be my favorite of the entire list. I think, will I change my mind? Let's see. Black. No, this is where you want to make a statement. You want to be loud, right? You see how much, like, there's so much going on in this font, right? And if you scroll over, you can see the different applications, what you can type with it, right? But it's really, hey, in your face, I'm here. You can also pair this with something more standard as your body text, like as you see right here. Like, but this is if you want to stand out, you go with something big, bold, rounded like this to just be in your face, right? Something like this, I wouldn't use every single day. I'll just sprinkle it in my projects, you know, every once in a while, right? Because we don't want to be always doing too much all the time. No. Bad rock. Remember when I said, or bad rock. Remember when I said earlier that Cinema Sunday made me my favorite? I'm a guy that likes really, really bold fonts. And this is just like right up my alley. And I like that it's not just bold, like all caps. You can do it with, you know, lowercase. You see that? Like, and I love the little diagonal cuts like on the C right here. I like that. I really, really like that. The review, I love it. And I love that it's condensed, you know, it's just bold and it stands out. As I said, I love bold fonts, and I think I may give this one the edge over the Cinema Sunday just because I love bold fonts so much. Perfect Condensed, this had to be on the list. It reminds me of Bebas, no question. Perfect Condensed had to be on this list. Let's move on to the next one, like just because, right? And I believe this is the final one I have on my list. No, it's not. This is number 9 because I know what the last one is, right? Like, I'm a bold font guy. With this one, I get like, it starts at regular, as you can see here, regular, medium, bold, and then it goes to black. I love black weight fonts, which is like really the heaviest weight, right? But as you can see, even with the regular, it's not very light. So I really like this, right? I can use this like for my YouTube thumbnails, the text that I use. If you've been following my channel, you realize that I always use like heavy text in my thumbnails, right? Let's move on to the next one. I really like how this bold. And you see it's bold and italic, and look at the character on the edge of the A. I love that. And the C, love it. And Multigen, I used this specific font in my Jalen Hurts NFL Super Bowl tutorial that I made a couple months ago, I want to say. But like, what I love about this font is that it's variable. See, it says variable, meaning that I can adjust the width of any particular character, right? So you see how you have this E right here. You can stretch that E using the controls in the font itself. You don't have to stretch it and distort it like you would like back in the day before we discovered variable fonts, right? Like this O, when you type this word Multigen, this O doesn't start like that. It starts as a normal O, and then you can stretch it using the width features inside the font. And that's why I saved this one for last. Do I make this one my favorite? I'm not sure. I really like the Bad Rock, but the Multigen, the variable qualities of this Multigen font. Let's say, can I have 2 number ones? Let's say Bad Rock and Multigen are my favorites. These 2 are my favorites, and that's where I'll rest my case. And hey, there are many more. What's the right way of saying that? But you get the point. There are a lot more fonts over here on Envato. If I were to just go on fonts right here and just scroll, like you see they have thousands of fonts. And like, look at this. Look how cool and classy this is, right? And look how in your face this Buck Wild is. What's that? Like a play on Buck Wild? Like Nexus bold. Like, remember I said I love bold fonts? Like, hey, this is talking to me. This one here is talking to me, right? And remember, as I said, if you want to check these out, all you have to do is hit that first link in this video's description to start leveling up your projects with these fonts from Envato. Not just 1 font, not just 2 font, but unlimited downloads. So thank you so much for spending time with me. Once again, my name is CJam, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.